All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Corinne Parsons, and I'm the Senior Assistant Director at the University of Southern Indiana. We are so glad that you are here with us tonight. We know that the Indiana Association for College Admission Counseling has worked really hard to put together this programming for you throughout these last couple of weeks, and we're really excited to get to spend some time being able to talk about the University of Southern Indiana, which is a place that we are all really passionate about. We know that you're getting to hear from a lot of different schools, and we all have some great information to share. And ultimately, we're here to help you find that school that is the right fit for you. So the approach we'd like to take tonight is to share with you why we feel students choose the University of Southern Indiana, why it's the place that they call home, and why it is the right fit for so many students. And then have a discussion about the admissions process and scholarships, and then take some time to answer any questions that you have. We know that choosing a college is a family decision, and so hopefully you have family members that are joining you on this call tonight. And so at the end, we hope to be able to work through any questions that you have, maybe that's been on your mind or that come up throughout the topic and the conversations tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to let my colleagues here introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Rusk. I'm the Associate Director at the University of Southern Indiana, and this is my 21st year working at this institution, and I'm very pleased to be here tonight. I wish we could be there in person, but we'll do the best we can with this.
Hello, everybody. My name is Terence Davis. I'm an admission counselor here at USI. I'm responsible for all the Indianapolis areas and all the Indianapolis high schools that are located in the area. I'm also responsible for all the northern part of Indiana, so all the people from Gary and East Chicago are responsible for those high schools. I've been part of the USI family for 6 years, including being a student and also being here as a part of the admissions team. So I'm glad you guys are all here tonight.
Awesome. So to kick it off, we've got a quick video that we want to share with you tonight. It's a student perspective about the top 5 reasons that our students choose the University of Southern Indiana.
There are hundreds of reasons to attend the University of Southern Indiana and become a Screaming Eagle,
also known as a Screagle. But here are our top 5. Our 1,400 acres in Evansville, Indiana provide tons of natural beauty, including green space, lakes, trails, and thousands of gorgeous tulips that bloom each spring.
We have plenty of room to grow and explore, but navigating campus is super convenient. We like to call it the Goldilocks effect. USI is not too big, not too small, it's just the right size. You can walk almost anywhere, to class, your residence hall, or to pick up food with friends in about 5 minutes.
And if you're looking for a weekend adventure, Louisville, Indianapolis, St. Louis, and Cincinnati are all nearby.
Once you're here, though, you may not want to leave because our facilities are second to none.
From our state-of-the-art Screaming Eagles Arena, where students attend games for free, and our innovative Applied Engineering Center, to our residence halls with private restrooms, we live, learn, and play in some awesome spaces. We can't wait for you to see them for yourself. That brings us to our 3rd reason to join us at USI, a landmark every Screaming Eagle knows, the Cone.
The Cone is one of the most recognizable and iconic sites on campus. It's part of the University Center, or UC, which is home to all kinds of food options and offices that will help you get involved at USI. Not only is the Cone a popular meeting spot, it's also the perfect photo backdrop.
Those offices inside the UC represent just a handful of the countless opportunities you'll have as a Screaming Eagle. You can choose from more than 140 student organizations or develop your passion and create your own.
We benefit from small class sizes and take hands-on learning seriously. Students recently built and launched a satellite with NASA, and USI partners with community businesses to offer internships and job experience too. Now we could reveal the top reason to become a Screaming Eagle.
But we thought you should hear it from someone who spends every day making USI our home away from home, our president, Dr. Ronald Rashawn.
Come to USI and see our people. They are phenomenal human beings that make this place work. Our faculty, staff, students, our administrators are people who work together in a collaborative mode every single day to make USI what it is, distinctive and special. It's the people that make this place. It's the people that serve this place. It's the people that make us feel like this is home. Come and see USI. More importantly, come and meet our people.
So, are you ready to visit?
Schedule a campus tour or check out our virtual tour online. We hope to see you soon. Go Screagles.
So even though we can't be together in person tonight, hopefully that gives you a taste of USI and some of the reasons that students choose USI. I do think that number one reason stands out the most. Our students are pretty special, as well as our faculty and staff, really here to serve you. And I'm going to turn it over to Mark to talk a little bit more about why students ultimately choose USI as a great fit, and also to go over some of the admissions process and scholarship pieces tonight.
Thank you, Corinne. And yes, why do students choose USI? And one of the things we do every year when we bring in a new freshman class is, we survey them, why did you come here? And, so we can find out maybe what we're doing right, maybe some things we need to work on. And so we survey the freshman class and we get thousands of responses, and they range from everything from your nursing program is one of the top programs in the United States, all the way to, well, my boyfriend goes to school there. And, but one thing that comes up in almost every survey is something that was already mentioned in the video, and that is the size. It is true, we are referred to in the college world as a Goldilocks school. And a lot of students choose us because they're looking for something a little smaller. They don't want to go to a school that's a giant state university where they're going to have freshman classes with 500 or 600 people in the auditorium. They want something smaller, but they're a little turned off by the high cost of private colleges. Average cost of a private college in Indiana right now is about $35,000 a year for tuition alone. So we can kind of give them the best of both worlds. We have about 9,000 students, which is not huge. It's very much mid-sized. Our average class size at USI is 24 students. And a big class at this university might be 80 students. And that might be something you get your freshman year in, maybe an intro to sociology, intro to psychology, one of those core classes. But 80 is a big class here. By the time you're in your major, 24 is going to be the norm. If you're in some programs that maybe don't have as many people involved in those majors, it could be less. So we can give students that small private college experience, but we do it at a state school cost. Our tuition is just below $8,000 a year, which puts us on the lower end of cost for state universities in Indiana. And so with that, we also deliver our education in a way very similar to private colleges. One thing we don't have any graduate teaching assistants. All classes are faculty taught. From your freshman year all the way through your senior year, you're going to have faculty teaching the classes. You're not going to have the graduate teaching assistant who's just out of their undergrad, 23 years old, making a little money on the side to teach the freshmen and sophomores. Everything is going to be graduate taught or faculty taught. Our labs, generally is a lab size averages about 20 students, so you can get the hand-on experience with faculty. All these things that people look for in a small college, but at a state school cost. And that is a big reason why a lot of students choose this university. And they come to us from all over the country, in fact, all over the world. We have students from 40 states and 70 foreign countries, and that part of our enrollment grows every day as we reach out further and further to bring in more students from different backgrounds, both geographically, ethnically, and just make a very, very interesting, fun environment at the university. The application process is fairly simple. We have our own application. It's online. There is an application fee of $40, although we do provide fee waivers for students who are 21st century scholars or who have free and reduced lunch or SAT or ACT waivers. Our freshman class profile this year was very impressive. It was nearly a 3.5 GPA was the average GPA for our incoming freshmen. Their SAT score was 1080, and the ACT was just a hair below 23. So we get some very, very strong students here at this university. And one thing that's going to change this year a little bit is the test score component. We have followed suit with many of our other sister institutions and decided that we will be test score optional from here on out. And what that means is that we will review students' applications with or without test scores, depending on what they request. So if you apply to USI and you want us to look at your test scores, we certainly will take those into consideration. If you have not had the opportunity to take an SAT or an ACT, as many of you have not because so many of them were canceled because of the pandemic, we will review your application based on your grades, your activities, coursework that you're taking. In some cases, maybe letters of recommendation. So we're looking at more of a holistic approach to reviewing students. So, but with that, we've also changed our scholarship requirements. Our primary scholarship at the University of Southern Indiana is the David L. Rice Merit Scholarship. It's named after our first president. And in the past, this was based on a combination of grade point average and SAT or ACT scores. But since we're test score optional and many people do not have those scores, we have revamped the Rice Scholarship to where now it is based strictly on grade point average. And the grade point average begins at 2.75, and the range of scholarships goes anywhere from $1,000 a year up to $4,000 a year. That's essentially half tuition. So when a student applies to USI and we receive your transcript, we look at your grade point average, and we will look at the weighted GPA if your school weights grades, and award you a Rice Scholarship upon application. So once you've applied and we've had an opportunity to review your transcript, we will send out a letter of acceptance quite quickly. And in that letter of acceptance, it will tell you the initial award amount for your Rice Scholarship. Now, one interesting note about this Rice Scholarship is that there's the possibility for it to increase during your senior year. So let's say you are just shy of a 3.5 GPA, you have a 3.48, and we award you the scholarship that goes with the 3.48. But then over the course of your senior year, your grades improve and your cumulative grade point average goes to 3.5 or higher. When we receive that information, we will enter that into our system and automatically increase your scholarship to match the new GPA. But the other part of the equation is that your scholarship cannot go down. So if you are taking very difficult courses during your senior year, you're taking AP calculus and physics and just really challenging yourself to get prepared for college, and perhaps get a C in something and your grade point average drops a little bit, we will not lower your scholarship. The scholarship amount either stays the same or goes higher, and we will even reevaluate scholarship amounts at the end of your senior year. So if you choose to attend USI and provide us with your final transcript after graduation, and we enter that transcript, that GPA, and it increases enough to raise your scholarship, we will do so. And this scholarship is based solely on academic performance. This has nothing to do with financial need. In fact, you do not have to fill out the FAFSA to qualify for this scholarship. And another great aspect of it is that it can be stacked with many other types of scholarships. For example, if you're a 21st Century Scholar, which covers your tuition costs at all state schools, and you also receive a Rice Scholarship, the Rice Scholarship will then go over towards housing and meal plans and books. If you're a Lilly Scholar, again, same thing. Lilly is paying for your tuition and books. This scholarship can carry over into your housing, room and board, those kinds of things. So it's, and then of course, any other scholarships or financial aid that you may receive can also be combined with the Rice Scholarship. It's good for 8 semesters, 4 years. Which is important to note, because if you are like many of the students coming to us these days, you may have dual credit courses and perhaps you've knocked a semester out already, so you're coming 1 semester in. We will still give you 8 semesters of the scholarship. So if you decide to double major and it carries you over an extra semester, or you're student teaching, or you change your major, the scholarship will be there for you if you need to go a bit longer. If you graduate early and go into a graduate program at USI, something that we offer, if you still have semesters available in your Rice Scholarship, you can carry that over into the graduate program. So it's very flexible. The renewal criteria is extremely reasonable. It's just a very simple way to receive scholarship dollars without having to jump through a lot of hoops. Now we have other scholarships that I'd like to mention briefly. We have 3 that you actually do have to apply for separately. Your first step is always to apply to the university first and get admitted to USI, and then have the opportunity to apply for these different ones. The first one I want to mention is the Harlan Terrain Multicultural Leadership Scholarship. The minimum requirement is that you have a 3.0 GPA. It's a $5,000 per year award. Now, in this case, it does replace your Rice Scholarship. As you may have noted before, the Rice Scholarship has a maximum of $4,000 a year. If you receive the Multicultural Leadership Scholarship, it's a $5,000 award. However, this can also be combined with things like 21st Century Scholarship and Lilly Scholarships. So if you have that type of award coming your way, then the Harlan Terrain Scholarship can go to your housing and meal plans. What we're looking for in this particular scholarship is we're looking for students who've been involved in multicultural activities, promoting diversity within their community and their schools in a variety of different ways. There's a separate application after you've applied to USI, and the application deadline is January the 8th. The next scholarship I want to mention is the USI Presidential Scholarship, and this is our biggest scholarship. It's a full ride. It pays for your tuition, housing, meal plan, and books for all 4 years at the university. To be considered, you have to be ranked 1 or 2 in your senior class at the beginning of your senior year, or have a 4.0 GPA at a non-ranking high school. And again, these GPAs can be weighted. Now, in addition to that, you do have to have test scores. The minimum composite test score on SAT has to be at 1280, or you need to give us an ACT composite of 27. You just need one or the other. You don't need both. If you are qualified for this scholarship, when we review your application for admission and we see that you meet the qualifications for that, obviously you'll receive a Rice Scholarship. But in your acceptance letter, we will put a link to this application, and we encourage you to fill it out. And it is also due on January the 8th, and the interviews will take place in February. We will award 10 of these scholarships. We typically will have close to 100 people interview. So 10 people will be selected for the Presidential Scholarship. But we also have a number of other what we refer to as merit scholarships that these individuals can also receive. So if a person is competing for the Presidential Scholarship, doesn't receive it, but they could possibly receive the USI Provost Scholarship. That's a full tuition award, covers the total cost of tuition, including summer school for all 4 years. We will also award another scholarship called the Dean Scholarship, which is a $2,000 per year award that you could receive on top of a USI Rice Scholarship. So again, it's a very competitive process, but it's one of the few scholarships out there that does cover everything, and there aren't a lot of those available. Thirdly, we have the Baccalaureate Doctor of Medicine Scholarship, the BMD. And in this particular case, it's only available to students from Indiana, and it provides students with a full tuition scholarship with also the opportunity to take the Rice Scholarship and put that towards housing and meal plans. And in addition to that, it provides students with a provisional seat in the IU School of Medicine. Provisional meaning that if the student maintains the minimum GPA requirement, gets an MCAT score that is considered the entry-level MCAT score at Indiana University Med School that year, the student will move to the front of the line and be able to claim their seat in the IU School of Medicine. We will award this to 6 students. To qualify to apply, you need to have at least a 3.5 GPA. Again, a weighted GPA will suffice. And again, the SAT score, a composite 1280 on the SAT, or an ACT composite of 12 or 27. This application is available on our scholarship page, which is linked to the admissions page. It is also available on the page for the College of Science and Engineering. So you would apply to USI first, receive your Rice Scholarship, and then go online and fill out the application for for the Baccalaureate Doctor of Medicine program. That deadline is also January the 8th, and interviews will take place in February in conjunction with the interviews for the USI Presidential Scholarship. Okay, the next slide, we want to talk a little bit about, reasons. We talked, reasons why students choose USI. And it's a beautiful campus. We have 1,400 acres of land. We have lakes, we have hiking trails, biking trails, just incredibly beautiful facilities, modern facilities. And part of our modern facilities is our housing. The one thing we can always tell students is that if you choose to come to the University of Southern Indiana, you will only share a bedroom and a bathroom with one other person. So we have two styles of housing. We have our residence halls and we have our apartment style housing. In both styles of housing, you have 4 people. 2 people share a bedroom and a bathroom, and then 2 people share a bedroom and a bathroom on the other side. In the residence halls, the bedrooms are connected by a common room, which has a mini fridge, sinks, cupboards, some furniture, cable TV outlets, and doors that allow you to be separated from your roommate who may be sleeping in the next room. The apartments are set up in the same manner, although in addition to having 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, you have a living room and then a full-size kitchen and dining area. So the cost for these types of housing is the same. It's identical. However, if you live in the residence halls, you do have to get the residence hall meal plan. Students in the apartments can opt for smaller meal plans or even no meal plan if they feel that they're going to be capable of doing their own grocery shopping, doing their own cooking. One thing that to keep in mind is that the residence halls are for freshmen only. However, freshmen can live wherever they want to. So freshmen can live in the apartment style housing, freshmen can live in the residence halls. In fact, freshmen can live off campus if they want to. General rule, students that come from further away tend to oftentimes go towards the residence halls. Students that are within an hour or so away many times will choose the apartments because they're close enough to home to be able to get home occasionally and stock up on groceries and save money. But not only do we have fabulous housing, but we have our housing selection process set up in a way so that you will have the opportunity to choose who you live with and which room you live in. And I won't get into too much detail about that, but if you decide to come here and you apply for housing, we will take you through that process and show you, here's how you can actually pick a friend to live with, or here's how you can find a friend through social media that we provide, and pick your roommate and pick your actual housing. Okay, so the process kind of from here on out is, most of our applications are coming in right now. And, September, October, November is when we get the bulk of our applications. So we encourage you to apply soon. Our housing applications will become available in December. And then we will begin orientation and registration as early as March. So in order to kind of get to the front of the line in terms of housing and the opportunity to come and register for classes, we encourage you to apply now. And a lot of students will apply in the fall and then maybe use the holiday break to kind of think about their decision and pick their school. One thing I just kind of want to end on is that, every college and university that's out there, everybody that's presenting tonight, everybody that's sending you things in the mail, all of them can and will give you a great education. It really comes down to, what is the best fit for you, and that you determine by visiting the campus. The campus visit is so important because, if you've decided to come look at a college, that means they probably have your major, you probably can afford it, and you can get in. And now it comes down to, but how do I feel? Is this the place for me? Come and take a look at our school. It's beautiful. Walk around, talk to the people. It might be the right place for you. If it's not, that's okay too. It's because it's such a personal decision and such an important decision. But we really would like to show you around and give you just kind of a great tour of campus, which we are currently doing. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to let Corinne talk a little bit about the visit program.
Thanks, Mark. Absolutely. So we are welcoming campus visitors on a daily basis. We typically run 2 visits per weekday, so Monday through Friday. Within that visit, you'll get to speak with an admissions representative, ask any questions that you have, be led on tours by our current student body. So you'll see campus places where you'll eat, where you'll go to class, where you'll study with your friends. And then we'll also show you both the residence halls and the campus apartments if you'd like to see them, as well as our arena and our fitness center, more of those student life aspects of campus. We are also offering visits on Saturdays. While we can't, hold some of those larger open house events that so many colleges are used to hosting right now, what we have done is really expanded our Saturday visit programming to be able to accommodate more visitors over the course of more Saturdays and more events. We are limiting the number of students and families per day so that we can remain cohesive with the COVID guidelines and make sure that we're keeping our visitors safe. But we know the importance of stepping foot on the campus, and we're trying to provide the best experience we possibly can under the current situations. Registering for the visits is really simple. You can go on the website and see all of the options. If you don't feel comfortable getting out and walking around campus, we do also offer a drive-through option. So that does allow you to see the lay of the land, be able to see campus in person, but do that from the comfort and safety of your own vehicle. That's also led by an admissions representative live. So you'll tune into a Zoom voice-only call, and we'll lead you around campus. You'll follow us in one of our vehicles, and we'll be able to talk through the different places around campus. Again, being able to showcase where you're going to study, where you'll eat, where you'll live, just from the safety of your own vehicle. If you can't make it to campus, we are also offering a variety of virtual experiences as well. We can surely sit down with you and your family one-on-one and have that individual virtual appointment. And we're also offering info sessions virtually that then is followed up by a guided campus tour online. A current student ambassador will also lead you through that live so that they can pepper in their experiences and answer questions that you have on the spot rather than asking you to listen to a recorded version of the tour. If you're up late at night and you do want to learn more about USI, we do have some recorded tours from our current ambassadors online, as well as some quicker videos to give you a better sense of what campus has to offer. So hopefully we will see you on campus soon. And we'd love to help you through this whole process in any way that we can. And with that said, I'd like to go ahead and open it up for questions. So feel free to send questions via the chat feature, and we'll take our best shot at them and answer them to the best of our ability and help everybody understand those next steps. So we did receive one question already. And this is regarding acceptance. So many of you may have gotten an email with acceptance information, but not necessarily received your acceptance letter or know if you've received that Rice scholarship that we talked about. We actually spent a good deal of time today stuffing those decision letters to everybody that we've admitted up to this point in time. And so we are very, very excited to get those out on the street. They should be coming to you very soon with that scholarship information. And you should also be hearing from us within the next 24 to 48 hours via email about scholarships, specifically that Rice scholarship. So if you have any questions when you get that information, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we really appreciate your patience as we've gotten these printed letters out on the road. And we're excited about some of the goodies that we're able to throw in this year. Mark, we have a question about sports scholarships, if we have sports scholarships available. So do you want to touch on our athletics?
Certainly, we do. We are a Division II, NCAA Division II program, so we do offer athletic scholarships. We allow students to stack scholarships. So if you are a good student and you're receiving academic money, you would receive that in addition to athletic money, which of course is awarded by the coaching staffs. I encourage students who are interested in athletics to go to the athletics website, pick the sport that you're interested in, and there's a prospective student athlete form that you can fill out. And this is going to ask you all kinds of information about your achievements on the playing field as well as in the classroom. And then that is then forwarded to the coach of that particular sport, and it allows them to take a look at it and possibly get in touch with you. Another tip I would give you if you're interested in athletics is if you can come to a camp, if it's a one-day camp or whatever, maybe a one-day soccer camp or one-day baseball camp, It's a great opportunity to get in front of the coaches and showcase your ability. But yes, we do have athletic scholarships in all of our sports, and they can be combined with academic scholarships.
Another question we're getting is the climate on campus right now. Are we having in-person classes or virtual classes? And the answer to that is we are hybrid. Like many other institutions, we have about 30% of our classes in person, and then another 30 to 40% completely online, and the other 40% hybrid, where students are meeting in class 1 or 2 days a week and then doing some of the online learning as well. We will do that up until Thanksgiving, and then between Thanksgiving and finals, everything will go completely online. And we are in the process of gearing up for registration for the spring, and we'll keep everybody updated on what those classes are going to look like. And especially heading into the fall, as we welcome this next year's class, we're going to try to keep you as up to date as we possibly can with the most recent information that we have available. There's another question about the best time for a high school junior to start conducting college visits. Mark, do you want to weigh in on that?
The time is now. I think the majority of students who visit us in any given year are especially from January on, are juniors, because it's a very important process, and I think you can get out there early and take a look at schools and start to get a feel for them, and it also gives you the opportunity to maybe visit twice. So if you are a junior, I strongly encourage you to get out and visit colleges as soon as you can. There's never too early of a time.
Awesome. There is a question about foundation scholarships. The application for the foundation scholarships will be due January 15th. So if you're an admitted student, you can, behind your My USI portal, find the application to those USI Foundation scholarships, and we'll be sending out updated information via email with explicit instructions on how to do that. Another question that we have is about, once a student is accepted, will they be assigned an advisor to work through details related to registration and decisions on campus? That answer is also yes. We are actually working as we move forward. We'll be reaching out to our admitted students later this fall with instructions on how you can commit and declare your intent to enroll at the University of Southern Indiana. And along with that notification that you intend to enroll, we're going to help you set up a pre-advising appointment to go ahead and meet your academic advisor and start to build that relationship and ask any of those questions that you have early on, and then work with you to continue through that process of actually registering for your classes. The next question is a scholarship question specifically for the Rice. How long do students have to accept the Rice scholarship, Mark?
We would hope that you would let us know by May 1st, but we will extend that deadline for students that possibly are having a hard time making their decisions, or maybe make a last minute change. So we're very flexible on that, but we do tend to go with the National Scholarship Declaration date of May 1st, but again, with a lot of flexibility.
The next question we have is room and board included in the tuition price? If not, what is the...
Oh. Well,
we lost our, if we're still on, I can tell you what the cost of tuition and housing and room and board is. Okay. Corinne just told me her computer just went down, so I'm on. Yeah, the question is the cost of housing and meal plans. The housing tends to run about $4,800 per year. That is the same for the residence halls and the apartments, so there's no difference in cost there. The meal plan for the residence halls runs about $4,500. So your total cost of attendance in terms of what you pay the university, direct costs, if you will, tends to be around $17,000. And that's of course without financial aid and without scholarships, but full cost of tuition, full cost of housing, and if you have the meal plan, about $17,000. Take $4,500 off of that if you choose to live in the apartments, although I will caution you is that you will eat, so there will be costs, but it's just something you won't pay the university. And are you able to look at the questions, Terence?
yes, I am. So one of the questions we have, what if we receive the application acceptance by the phone? I believe if they're asking if there's anything else they need to do once they get accepted by the phone, if they'll be getting their, when they'll get their letter.
Okay, as Corinne said, we had some issues because we made a last minute change to our scholarships. So we had to do some internal work in terms of getting the letters prepared for this year. So that's why we had the delay, and we apologize for that. The letters themselves went out today. So everybody who's been admitted up until today should be receiving their acceptance letter as soon as, I would think, some people as soon as Saturday, certainly everybody else by the middle of next week. And at that point in time, the letter, the acceptance packet is going to have a checklist of things that you need to do, things, it's kind of step by step. We will stay in touch with you throughout the process. So we will let you know when housing applications are going to become available. We will let you know and remind you about applying for foundation scholarships, orientation, registration, your financial aid award letter. All these things will be coming along in sequence throughout the rest of the year. So one thing we ask is that we know you get a lot of information from colleges, both in the mail and via email. If you're interested in a particular school like us, as long as you're interested, please open the letters, open the emails. Yes, there may be some things that you get that you're not interested in. Maybe a sorority or fraternity is contacting you, or another student organization, and you may or may not be interested. But in those communications, sometimes they're very important things like information about housing, registration, and financial aid.
Another question about the sport visit again. Will they have a chance to experience practices or speak with coaches, specifically the swimming program?
Well, when you're talking about with the coaches, all visits with coaches are set up through the coaching staffs. They're not set up through admissions. So if you're interested in a particular sport, I encourage you to contact the coaching staff. A little bit of advice, in most sports, not just at USI, but everywhere, the assistant coaches tend to handle at least the initial parts of recruitment. So I would encourage you to reach out via email, phone, and get in touch with the coaches and see if you can arrange a visit to come and talk with them and meet with them and see the facilities. But it's done completely separate from the admissions part that we do for the general student body. Corinne's back.
Yes, technical difficulties.
Another student has asked, what about the meal plans, and what the price ranges between those meal plans that we offer at USI?
I'm gonna throw that to you, either Terence or Corinne.
So for the meal plans that I know, we have 3 different types of meal plans. We have red, white, and blue. They range from $4,000 to maybe $1,000. And depending on what type of students you are, what kind of meals you want to have on campus. I know the top meal you can have is 3 meals a day. And it'll have less amount of what we call munch money. We get 3 meals. We can go to our main eating court, which is called the Loft, and use those meals to have like breakfast and lunch and dinner. The Loft has like full family styles or home cooking styles or like an Asian buffet. We can use the munch money around campus to go to our Starbucks on campus or our fan favorite Chick-fil-A. And so it also depends on the students. So if you want more meals, you can have 3 meals a day or less munch money. If you want more munch money, you can have more munch money to buy Chick-fil-A or Starbucks and less meals a day.
If I may, I'd like to throw in a plug for our study abroad program. It's an amazing opportunity for students to really expand their horizons. We work with 119 different schools in 53 countries, and you can travel literally anywhere in the world. And different varieties of ways you can do it. You can do a full semester abroad, or what many students are doing now is maybe they're taking one course over a 3-week period in the summertime. But the great thing about our study abroad program is that it's set up so that almost every place that you could choose is going to have a cost for tuition and room and board that is either the same or very close to what you would pay here. And if you're receiving scholarships or other kinds of financial aid, it can be applied to your study abroad experience. So you can go as early as your sophomore year. If you're interested, you want to plan ahead, maybe, at least half a year ahead, 6 months ahead. We have people here that will work with you, help you get it arranged. A lot of students don't think about studying abroad, but once they get here and they start to meet other people that have had that experience, they say, yeah, I want to do that too. And we can make it very simple for you to do it and really, really alter your life.
The other thing that's for the Rice Scholarship is at a 4.0 GPA scale.
That's on a 4.0 scale weighted. So if you have a weighted scale, we will use the weighted GPA. If you don't, we will use the standard GPA.
Finally, the last question for the Presidential Scholarship, will the expectation be made for the GPA requirement if test scores are significantly higher than the minimum? So the GPA requirement, and if the test scores are higher than the minimum is what it says, I believe.
Then that's great.
For the presidential specifically, it states that you have to either be ranked number 1 or number 2 in your class or have the 4.0 at the non-ranking institution. So those are set in stone with not a lot of wiggle room if your test scores are higher than those minimum requirements for that scholarship specifically. One thing I do want to jump in, we were talking about study abroad. We're talking about a lot of these different opportunities available to you. And we just want to take a minute to acknowledge that we know that this year is different and it's hard. And there's a lot of unknown. And choosing a college, there's a lot of unknown anyway, because it's new. It's something that you've never done before. And so as we sit here and we talk about everything that's available to you, we know that sometimes we're talking about right now, sometimes we're talking about normal, and sometimes we're talking about a combination of both. And so we honestly can't tell you what your college experience is going to look like when you go to college in the fall of 2021. What we can tell you at the University of Southern Indiana is that we're going to be here to support you in whatever that means at that point in time. And we are really proud of the way our institution has pivoted and moved quickly to be able to support our students as things change and as we learn more. I'll give you an example. When we went remote on March 17th this past spring, we had an orientation day scheduled for 3 days later. We were supposed to welcome our first group of students to campus, to register, to see campus, to meet with their academic advisors. We completely turned that into a virtual experience within that 3-day window, and then proceeded to build upon that for the rest of our orientation programming and the process to help this fall students get enrolled. The faculty worked tirelessly to flip their courses online and are still meeting with students virtually to provide that support. I've seen where they're up answering emails and text messages at all hours of the day to try to be there for the students in whatever way, shape, or form we can. And so as you're picking a college, again, you may not know the experience, some of the things that you're going to be able to do, but you are going to be able to identify whether or not it feels like home. And part of that is being supported in your end all goals.
Another question is the Presidential Scholarship the same as a Rice Scholarship GPA wise?
Yes, it's a weighted GPA 4.0, exactly the same.
All right, so we are going to wrap up just a few minutes early, but again, we do want to thank you for being with us tonight, and please contact us. We have an email, enroll, ENROLL @usi.edu if you do have any questions moving forward. And again, we'd love to see you on campus soon.
All right, so I actually am going to do a couple of announcements here before we end. So I want to thank our panelists for presenting tonight. Thank you for the information you shared, the insight you shared, as well as the sentiments that you shared. I think that we all definitely have for our students that we all work with. So thank you for that. Thank you all for attending and joining us. We definitely appreciate the time you took this evening. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick survey. We'd appreciate your feedback so we can continually provide these opportunities to all of you. Also, this is just the one of many sessions that is being hosted by InACAC. And so we encourage you to look at inacac.org to learn about other opportunities that you can engage with other institutions and continually learn more about the plethora of opportunities that are available to you. In about a week, you'll actually be able to view a recording of this session and all other sessions that were presented by InACAC. So again, be sure you check out inacac.org. If you have further questions on University of Southern Indiana, I'm sure they would be happy to answer those for you. You are welcome to give them a call or email them. And all of you, thank you very much again for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Stay stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much.